All right, big time win on the road for Cincinnati, man. Time to react. Was this week 5 reaction? Did some things well. This is not an easy team to beat. I think they're better than most people think. The Cardinals are already beating the elite team this year in the Dallas Cowboys. So big time road victory. Offense finally got it going. It did some things well. So I'm gonna critique the offense. Well, certain parts of it, and critique defense and what they really did well. So we're gonna talk about that in a sec. Now, defensively, I thought they did good, right? They turned over Josh Dobbs, who hadn't turned over the ball a lot. Trey Hendrickson was heating up. He once again had a good game. They did a really good job re-signing Trey Henderson. 2.5 sacks in this game, a forced fumble. He continues to get it done. He's a one-man wrecking crew as far as pressure defensively. So that was a great re-signing for us. I think they forced him into some bad throws as far as with the pressure. Some of them was on obviously Josh Dobbs. So I thought they did good, man. Making him turn over the football, come into the game. Only two giveaways they had all year. They had 3 from this game. So shout out to the defense on that side of the ball. We got to get better with our running though. We're fortunate that Connor suffered an injury, got hurt. But you're going to play better teams, and they know the run defense is not good. And we have basically the same front seven, right? Same 4 starters is back, same linebacking core's back. So they have to be better. The only changes have been in the secondary, and they've held up for the most part this year. There's been a couple beats, but run defense has to be better. We rank pretty much last in the NFL. That has to be better. So, yeah, and then there was a critical part in the game. I thought they could have really, took advantage. They went out to early 10-0 lead, but then defense gives up 2 scores. So they just have to be better with certain stuff, the big plays, the runs. That's what's held them so far this year. They got to be better there. But, overall, second half performance, I give them a solid A-. And the reason I say that, only gave a one touchdown drive, 6 points. They forced 2 turnovers, made it difficult, did not allow Arizona to get back in the game, really made them one-dimensional. So I thought they did a really good job there defensively, just adjusting and getting better as the game wore on. So that's a bonus. They just got to show up a couple things. I think they'll be fine. Now, offensively, they looked much better in this game. Joe Burrow, his pocket awareness, his elusiveness, it's the best we've seen Joe Burrow. So, sometimes you got to take Burrow by his word, man. He said this is best he's felt going into a game this week, best he felt after a game, even though they lost to Tennessee. So, you got to believe sometimes what he's saying. He was pretty good in this game. The one interception, his receiver fell down. He was dealing all game, only 10 incompletions, 300-plus yards. That's the Burrow we all know and love. So shout out to him and battling through injury, but continuing to show us who he really is. And it's one of the top quarterbacks when he's healthy. So he did a great job in this game, man. He looked much better. The deep ball was there. Everything he wanted to do was there. Yeah, everything he wanted to do was there. So, I really commend him of his performance and what he did. He found Chase early and often, which we're going to talk about his performance in a second. But really outstanding game from Burrow. Really, really enjoyed that. Now I love it. My boy Mixon got more touches, 25 carries in this game. I know it's only 81 yards, 3.2, but I feel like a lot of stuff that why it was working was because they incorporated the run a little bit more in this game, right? They're using the RPO game. They're using various different things, and it was confusing the defense, right? The defense was able to, they were overreacting to the run, so then it opened up the pass, it opened up the targets to chase, it opened up the downfield throws. So if they continue to do that and not abandon the run so fast, I think it will help. You just need efficient running. You don't need it to be, we don't need it to be a 150, 200-yard team to win rushing-wise. But I think this is the number. Mark this down, this in this video. 20 to 25 carries for Mixon each game. I think they have the best opportunity to be themselves and to really, really ball out. So love that for him. I got to talk about my boy Chase, man. Big time game. As he said last game, he's always open. Set our franchise record for most catches in the game, 15. He tied his career high with 3 touchdowns. I can only imagine what his fantasy numbers was, 192 yards. So he balled, and it was good distribution. You might be like, oh, only Chase went off. Trent Irwin, 8 catches, 60 yards. Tyler Boyd right here, 6 catches, 39 yards. So he was throwing it all over the field and hitting his receivers. And this was out with one of our best receivers, T. Higgins, who has fractured ribs. So overall, great performance. Good job by Burrow and company doing their thing. My only critique is Zach Taylor just towards the end of the game, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Just run the ball. I know you want to put the game in Burrow's hands, and I understand that. I respect that. He's one of the best, I think, when he's healthy. But some of the stuff, you're just putting him at too much of a risk, in my opinion. You got to run the ball a little bit more just in those situational areas and situations. Just run the ball, kill the clock. You don't need your quarterback doing too much towards the end. The passes at the end is just unnecessary. Run the football. So he still got work to do for his play calling. This was a better game. But Burrow carries a lot of our stuff offensively. I get it. But it needs to be better there. And offensive line wise, I give them kind of a C plus, B minus. They got to do a little bit better, man. As far as protecting, they were better in the second half. I will give them that, but they got to do better. Burrow's still taking not as much hits as he took his first couple seasons, but still early in the game you had penalties. You had penalties that took away a touchdown score to Tyler Boyd. On Alex Kappa, illegal hands to the face. You had a hold on Orlando Brown Jr. that took away a big run. They just got to be better, man. And Frank Pollock is the offensive line coach. Got to get on them and tell them, hey, we need better play out of them. So, I mean, that's it. If they can get the O-line working, this offensive firepower can continue to go like this, and they can continue to hit down the deep throws and get the ball into the playmakers' hands, they might can turn this around. So, definitely a good step going forward. A lot of positives in the game. Obviously, some negatives, but a lot of positives. Overall, good victory. I'm satisfied as a fan.